Okay, so recording. So good morning. Welcome to the first webinar. The webinar is about 3 steps to creating the best resume ever. Most of you in the webinar have subscribed for the job search crash course, so you should have sent me your resumes to review by now. If you haven't, we're going through 3 essentials that you need to do today to get your resume all the way snatched. The first one is, y'all have paper and pen, right? You got paper and pen? The first thing that you need to do is get paper and pen for this webinar. I will be giving you 3 things that you need to do to get your resume all the way snatched. The first thing that you need to do is work on the presentation of your resume. If you're tuning in from Instagram, we are having a webinar now, so if you want to join us, go to the website and you can join, because I won't be on here forever. The first thing we're looking at is the presentation of your resume. Hi, Marissa. Presentation. I'm going to be frank. I am not looking at your resume if it is not something that excites me or is appealing in any way. There's so much competition out there. We don't have time for resumes that are not justified, not aligned, and just frankly just not popping. So your resume, the presentation is very important. We're going to start with the cover letter and then go on to the CV and the general resume, and we're going to do the difference between the CV and the resume in this webinar today. The first thing you need to know about your cover letter should be justified. So if you are one of these people just typing up letters old-fashioned, no boo, you need to get your life together. Your cover letter must be fully justified. It must be in one font, all black. So all black, one font, fully justified. You aren't writing a novel, so there shouldn't be any italics in there. There shouldn't be any fancy things in there, and you must make use of your spell check. Nobody has time to be out here laughing at your resume on Fridays at lunchtime. Okay. Resume webinar. Y'all following? You following? Okay, so just to recap real quick. Must be fully justified, all in one font, all black. Your name and your address must be on the top of the cover letter. So the top of the cover letter, so you could clearly see. So it should have your full name, email address, and a contact number at least for you. If you're from, Jamila, what's the problem? If you're from Canada or the USA, your address is not needed, just your contact information, maybe just an email. But if you're in the Caribbean and you're watching, you need your full name, address, and contact information. If you are using an email address, make sure it's a professional email address. So it can't be techagalman@gmail.com. It has to be jamilahollingsworth@gmail.com. We don't respond well to ratchet emails like techagalman@gmail.com. Remember, this is a professional resume and not, I don't know. So make sure your email address is not ratchet. Next thing, the contact number that you're listing on your cover letter, ensure that you actually have credit on your phone. So if you are putting your cell phone number, make sure you have credit on your phone. You don't want to miss out on an opportunity because you don't have money on your cell phone. You know how much times I've called people to come for jobs and they miss an opportunity because they don't have credit on their phone? No. So at least keep some credit on your phone to receive the call for an interview. If your contact number at the top of your cover letter is your home address, ensure that you tell the people in your house that you're applying for jobs. You don't want a situation where we call to invite you for an interview and the people in the house either answering the phone badly or behaving ratchet. No, I'm not saying that is your specific right home relationship. I'm just saying, just tell the people in your house. I remember one time I called a guy for a job interview and and his mother, she probably wasn't aware that he was applying for jobs, and she thought it was one of his girlfriends, and she treated me very badly on the phone. So you don't want that embarrassing situation to happen to you. Somebody is saying you have to make it as easy as possible for recruiters to touch base with you. That is completely correct. We have several options, so you don't want to lose out on an opportunity because you don't have money on your phone, or people in your house don't know that you're applying for a job. The next thing your cover letter should have is the date. So the date that you type up the cover letter, or the most current letter that you're sending, you want to update the date on your resume. The next thing on the resume should be the correct name and title of the person that you're sending the resume to, or company. So you want to ensure that their name is spelled correctly. I hate getting resumes with my name, Jameela, spelled incorrectly. No boo. In the age of Google and gypsy secretaries, you can't get my name right, okay? So go do your research. If you're applying to Interscope Inc., make sure you go on their website and get the correct name and mailing address. If you do not have the person, the hiring manager's name, you can always call the company or email the company and ask them who to address the resume to. I know I'm going super fast, but it's Saturday and I won't go back to bed. The next thing you must have on your resume, somebody joining, hi Kayla. The next thing you must have on your resume is, on the cover letter, is relevant information. Now, some of you have cover letters that are 2 pages long. No boo. Get your life together. Dear hiring manager is not okay. Get the person's name, make it personal. Anyways, so some of you have cover letters that are 2 pages long. That is not okay, and it will never be okay. The average length of a cover letter should be 1 page. Get everything you need to say in that first page. A cover letter really is your sales pitch. It is 3 paragraphs of you trying to convince me to invite you for an interview or to call you for a telephone interview. I ain't got time to play games with these 2-page cover letters. A cover letter should be 1 page long. So if you're watching or if you're on the webinar and your cover letter is more than 2 pages long, you have issues, my family. What about initial entities? All right. So Marissa's asking, what about using dear? So Marissa, yes, 1 page, Marissa. What I would say, 1 page for the cover letter. Dear, you can say dear the person's last name, so dear Miss Hollingsworth, or dear, if you don't know the name, dear sir or madam. Right, international entities, like, so what I know about Canada and the UK, you could say dear hiring manager or recruitment manager. There are some people that put to whom it may concern, but that's very impersonal. Who are you talking to? There must be a subject of the cover letter that you're addressing it to. Okay, so like I said, the cover letter should be 1 page, 3 paragraphs. Now we're gonna break down the 3 paragraphs real quick. The first paragraph is an introduction to yourself and how did you hear about the job. So some people normally start out by saying, I'm applying for the position of sales representative as advertised in the Nation newspaper on Sunday, August the 10th. Yes, cover letters should be tailored to a specific job. Why the cover letters should be tailored to a specific job is because every company is different. And for me, I like the fact that you research the company and you tell me in the cover letter how you will bring your own value to the company. How hiring you could bring value to the company, and how hiring you could make the company better. So yes, cover letters should be specific to the particular job that you're applying to. There are some people that do general cover letters and just tweak them. I would suggest that method because Nobody ain't got time to be sitting down here doing cover letters every time they apply for jobs. It's true. Right, so we're breaking down the cover letter, the 3 paragraphs on the 1 page of cover letter. The first paragraph is an introduction to yourself and how you heard about the job opportunity. Where there is no job opportunity, you're going to just express interest in working for the company. So let's use the example of a sales representative, right? So say the sales representative, you're applying to be a sales representative at the HR boss. So you're applying, you're saying, okay, I'm applying for the position of, I'm writing you expressing interest in the role of sales representative at the HRboss.com. And then you go on from there. Why do you want to work there? So your cover letter should entail what you're applying for. Why do you want to work there? And what value you can bring to the company. Some people use their cover letter to gloat on their education or their experience. Some people say, oh, I have a bachelor's in this, I have a master's in this, I am a bag of awesome, and you should invite me for an interview. No. It has to be how you can bring value to the organization, not just not just the organization calling you for an interview. It has to go both ways. I'm taking questions, so you can type as we go. No questions? Alright. So now that you've typed in how you heard about the job, why you're applying for the job, why you want to work there, and how you can bring value, you're justifying everything. Yes, you can highlight parts of your resume. So somebody's asking on the live, do I highlight parts of my resume? Yes, you can highlight parts of your resume. So parts of your resume that I would recommend highlighting are any specific achievement that stands out that can help the company. So for example, if the job that you're applying for is marketing manager and you have a master's in marketing, that's important to highlight. If it is that you're applying for the same job of marketing manager, and you've done a big social media campaign and it brought in revenue over $100,000, that's something important to highlight. So pick 2 special or specific events and highlight that in the cover letter, but just keep it within the 1 page, the 1 page limit. Some people try to use big words or obnoxious words in their cover letter, and I don't know why. I don't know. I'm not telling you to undersell yourself, but just make it as simple as possible. How about those creative jobs at Google? Now, for creative jobs at Google, or if you're applying to a graphic design agency, your cover letter gotta be popping. So it can't be a regular cover letter. It has to be, I would recommend doing a graphically designed cover letter. Somebody just followed the webinar. Okay, she's back. So I would recommend a graphically designed cover letter. So get a graphic artist, use canva.com, and go on there and design a graphically designed cover letter. Companies like Google and graphic design companies will not look at you with a regular cover letter, a regular design cover letter. The content could be the same, but it's the way that you present it. Yes, a portfolio is also recommended for graphic design job applications. Alright, so any more questions on the cover letter before we move on to the resume? I'm moving on to the resume. So now we finished the cover letter, we're on to resume writing. So many people ask me, what's the difference between a resume and a CV? And there's a big difference. A curriculum vitae is a comprehensive document of all of your experience and your qualifications. It's comprehensive. Alright, I can come to questions. It's a comprehensive document. Whereas, so a curriculum vitae, I've seen some as long as 5 pages. For professionals, from 2 to 5 pages. A resume is really 1 to 2 pages. And that's normally what we accept here in the Caribbean. We accept both, but most people do what we call resumes. A resume is a condensed version of all of your qualifications, and your experience. It highlights the relevant experience to the job that you're applying for, or the most recent, as well as your qualifications that are relevant or most recent. We can answer these two questions before we go more into the resume. Somebody's asking if it's best to end in yours sincerely. Yes, you can use yours sincerely. Best, I use best regards, warm regards. I mean, if you're sincere, yours sincerely is just throw up. But I use best regards, warm regards. That's to me what I use, but it's what you prefer. Mia Anne Marie is asking, for someone like me who is certified in film, how is the best way to present my portfolio? Now, I actually have a client who does film. She produces content for television shows and radio shows. She's excellent. She does a lot of comical films for our local TV, and we worked together on a portfolio about 2 weeks ago. Hi Rashida, thanks for joining. How do I mute her? Anyways, we worked on a portfolio about 2 weeks ago for a company that she wanted to apply to. So your portfolio should consist of we did pieces of her content. So we did a comedic film. We did a piece of her writing for a press release for companies. We did a piece of her work for a client, a blog post that so a piece of every type of your work I would suggest. And what we did is we did it in a PDF version, and we put links to the different links so they could click where to get to the different pieces of work. And that worked for us. It was 3 pages long. It really spoke about her as a content creator. So the first page was about her. The second page was about the different types of work that she does and links to that different types of work. And the third page was how she could bring value to the organization she was applying to. So I don't know if that helps you, Mia. If you want to chat offline, you could send me a DM after the webinar. I'll be happy to help. Any more questions? Okay, so we're on the resume and the CV. We talked about we talked about the difference between a resume and a CV. Could you break down again what should be included in each paragraph in the cover letter? Sure. So just a recap for the people not joining, the cover letter should be 1 page long. It should include how you found out about the job in the first paragraph. So how you found out about the job in the first paragraph, why you're applying for the job, what qualifies you to be considered for the job, and how you could add value to the organization. Those are the 4 elements that I would include in the cover letter. Now, some people I would suggest you can include if 2 major achievements that are linked to the role you're applying to that you have experience with, you could also include those in the cover letter once it's not over 1 page. This AC is too hard. All right. Okay, so we're back on the resume. We already talked about the difference between the resume and the cover letter. Now we're going into what you should put in your resume and the structure. Now, the structure of your resume, if you are writing, I would slow down. The first thing you need to work on is your professional profile, your objective. So some people start resumes and they put their name, they put the dependents, they put date of birth. Nobody needs to know your date of birth. We're not sending you birthday gifts. Nobody needs to know if you have 5 children. We're not paying you on welfare. So stuff like dependents and birth date don't go on a resume. So if you have them on your resume, you want to take them off. First off, like I said, your name and your contact information should go in the header again on the resume. The cover letter also gives you room to showcase your skills a bit. That is not spelled out in your CV. It does, Stephanie. It's really a sales pitch. It's a 3-paragraph, 1-page sales pitch. Because we get so many cover letters, your cover letter really has to grab our attention. So yeah, that's correct. So So back to resume, you're taking off your birth date, you're taking off your dependents, you're taking off your marital status. That doesn't equip you to do the job any better. So some people have their marital status, you want to take that off. Anything very personal, especially if you're applying to the UK or the US, take those things off. So the first thing you want to highlight is your objective for applying or your professional profile. Now, do I have a resume near here? I can get a resume. Anyways, your professional profile is, like, for me, I would say I am a outcome oriented HR professional who assists organizations in achieving their strategic goals through people. That's what will be my personal profile. A one liner, two liner on me and what my individual mission or purpose is. Okay, somebody's saying it also has to get through the filtering software. What exactly has to get through the filtering software? Could you explain, Dr. Matty? Okay, and Tanky explains. So your professional or profile or your objective, you want to state first. The next thing that comes after your professional profile, some people prefer to state education and then work experience, or you can state work experience and then education. There is no rule of thumb, unless, as long as it's well presented on the resume. I would not say there's a rule of thumb that education should come before work experience or after work experience. Me personally, I put work experience before education, but some of my clients, they prefer education before work experience. It depends on if the person has any experience or not, because some clients they don't have much experience, they're fresh out of school and just some internship, so they put their educational qualifications first. Someone on the live is saying some companies use filtering software to screen resumes even before the recruiter looks at them. Yes, we do use filtering software to screen resumes. Whatever looks like spam, which isn't justified, which isn't aligned properly, which some people copy and paste the cover letter in the body of the email. Don't do that. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Do a proper cover letter. The body of the email should encompass a nice little note to me, egging me on to open the cover letter and the resume. Don't cut and paste the cover letter in the body of the email. It's too messy. So when I open it, I'm like, what is you doing, boo-boo? Don't do that. So back to the resume. So you could, your professional profile or objective, the next thing is your work experience or your educational qualifications. Either or, it doesn't matter how you list them. A question on the life. If I have, wait. Okay, so Tamisha's asking, how do I cater my resume for a specific job while being in another job which is currently outside of my field? So most people are facing this challenge. Raquel, I'll come to you. Most people are facing with this challenge, working inside the job. So say you're qualified to be a marketer and you're working in HR. How do you tailor your resume to suit? Your resume is going to rely heavily on your educational background. And what transferable skills can be used from your current job to bring over to that new job. So if it is that you are a marketer by qualification and you're working in HR, there are some transferable skills that can be used. Those transferable skills may be communication skills. HR requires a lot of internal communication with staff, so you can use those skills in terms of marketing. There are clients that you have to liaise with, and there's a specific amount of writing that you have to do. HR is heavy contractual based, so you have to do employee contracts. Marketing, you need contracts with vendors. So in terms of reading and understanding contracts, that's a skill that is transferable. Why do I feel sick? So you have to look at your educational background and the transferable skills, and maximize or capitalize on those in your cover letter. I'm answering Raquel's question now. Raquel is asking, if I have no experience in a particular field I wish to apply for, what is the best way to sell myself? Okay. Alright, so if you have no experience in a particular field, the best way to sell yourself. When I first came out of school in 2011, I went to UB Mona in Jamaica. Big up all the Pelicans on the life. I did a bachelor's in HR, but I didn't have HR experience, and HR is extremely hard to get into. So what I did was I typed my resume. I used my Kingstonian address. I lived in Kingston 7 at the time, and I started to ask for internships or job shadowing for free. I would work for free. So I met this guy. His name was Omar Ryan. He was on Taylor Hall, and he had a few links at PwC Jamaica, and he was able to set me up with an HR internship at PwC Jamaica. What I would have to do is go to school, and I used to go to work, I think 2 days a week at PricewaterhouseCoopers Jamaica. That's downtown by the waterfront tower. What I'm saying is, if you wish to apply for a field that you're not in, you're going to need to rely on your educational qualifications, and you're going to need to start stacking some internships, job shadows, or volunteerism under your belt, because nobody's going to give you the time of day, or you're not going to get into an entry-level job unless you start job shadowing or finding a mentor, or you have some kind of links. Raquel. Next question from Mia. Should you list all of your work experience, or should you just give the longest standing work experience? I would say the most recent and the most relevant for the particular job that you're applying for. So if you're applying for a marketing assistant and you did HR 10 years ago, that's not relevant. So if for the last 6 years all you've been doing is marketing, just list those. If it is that you had like this 2-month job or a 1-month job there, don't list those on your resume. Just put the longest serving jobs and the duties that you did under those jobs. Alex, if your subject line of the email states what the email is containing, is it necessary to put the info in the body of the email? So Alex is a former client. Yes, you could put in the subject line what you're applying for. So normally I encourage my clients to do catchy email lines. So if you're applying for the position of marketing manager, put exactly what in the subject line what your email is about. Some people write application for the post of marketing manager. That is okay. It's a bit boring, but you could find something a bit more creative. If you put in the body of the email, Alex, you should know better. We normally write a paragraph that is kind of like invitational. It's kind of like engaging the recruiter to call you for a telephone interview, or to call you to discuss your attached cover letter and resume. You should know better, Alex. Alright, so we have Jamila. Okay, Jamila, what if you type the cover letter from scratch into the body of the email, especially if the email address is specifically linked to the advertised post? I don't like cover letters typed in the body of the email unless you're applying through a website, a recruiting website like Caribbean Jobs or Caribbean Jobs Online, that you have to upload your resume, and then there is a CV, a space that you could copy and paste. I don't like it. Looks messy. It looks messy. The alignment is out in terms of the cover letter. You would have to realign it and readjust it, because it doesn't look professional. Raquel, volunteerism must be from the same field I'm interested in. Yes, if you can get any experience in the field that you want to go into, if it's events management, if you could work with one of these bridal companies for a day just blowing balloons, If it is that you could work at one of these expos like BMX, even if it's for free for 2 hours, that is valuable experience that you could put on your resume. I cannot stress it enough. My problem is in the Caribbean, we like to get paid for work. Bills have to pay. I know Chris Sinclair's taxes are hot. I know Audley Shaw is blowing up phone bills over here. I know. But at the same time, we need to push outside of the box and go by unconventional means to get the jobs that we want. So like I said, I worked for 6 months unpaid at Scotiabank, at PricewaterhouseCoopers Jamaica. Pricewaterhouse could pay, but I wanted the job. I wanted to work under Dr. Fletcher, and I worked for free. And having worked at PwC, people recognize it as a reputable brand. And when I moved back to Barbados, I was able to land a job in HR, a paying job. All right, we are the modern day marketer, Charlene. I love that you're using marketing references. Charlene is my PR/marketing agency. She's amazing. So if you want your stuff graphically designed or you need a personal website, you could hit up the modern day marketer. Sade, what is something catchy that could be a subject line of the email? Sade, I have some examples on my website in downloads, and I have some catchy lines in the job search crash course. So just send me a DM and I will send that to you. Something like experienced marketer. Experienced marketer. Okay, thank you. All right, so we back to the resume. So professional profile, education, work experience. Right under that, I would recommend putting your skills. No, we were talking about transferable skills earlier. Right, so we were talking about transferable skills earlier. So like, if you're in a job that you're applying for a job. So you're applying for a job that you're not currently in, or the field that you're not currently in, you need to list your transferable skills under skills. So skills like you should have efficiency in Microsoft Suite. You don't need to list everything like Word, Excel, Access, everything and a mother. You just need to say Microsoft Suite. The next thing that could be an asset is if you have exceptional skills in terms of graphic design or website design. Those are skills that a company could use. It depends on what job you're applying for. So look at skills that are unique to you, that most people probably wouldn't have or probably aren't great at, and put those skills on your resume. After skills, you're going to list your achievements. Some people have under achievements head girl in primary school. Really? That's your greatest achievement? Being a head girl? For the record, being a head girl is not achievement. Being a head girl is teachers liking you the most and putting you as a head girl. That's not achievement. That's not something, in my opinion, that you work for. Damn it. So I don't want to see any person on this life having head girl as a bloody achievement. Is Marissa still on the live, Mary Sue? Shakira, I don't care. You was a head girl. Don't put that on the achievements, huh? Don't put that on the achievements, girl. Raquel said, I'm fresh out of school. I'm interested in working in HR. However, my degrees in management with psychology and not specifically HR. What would you suggest is the best way to get in the field of HR? Girl, management with psychology was the old-time HR in Barbados before the program came about. So that's hella close. People are psychotic. You have to learn how to deal with people and how to manage them. So that's close to HR. I would suggest you leverage the degree, get some experience, find the nearest office that has an HR department, call them up and ask for a job shadow. A job shadow is unpaid labor, and they teach you how to do HR practices without getting paid. But you have to be willing to just be open to it. You have to push push right now a couple of doors. There is a free download on my website, thehrboss.com, with how you can reach out to people. Just download, just copy and paste the template and use it. Reggie is laughing. But Raquel, there are ways to get into. When I started working at PwC, somebody joined us. I don't know who this person is, but hey. When I started working at Pricewaterhouse Jamaica, I didn't have the degree yet. I was in third year of school, but I didn't have the degree, and I made a deliberate attempt to not let that stop me. I didn't have the degree and I didn't have the experience, but I made a deliberate attempt that I was gonna get a job because I didn't want to leave Jamaica. All right. So skills and achievements. So what are achievements? So achievement, like I said, is not being a head girl or a head boy. Sorry, Shakira. Achievement is something like a humanitarian award, a Queen's Guide award, something that you have to work with, work for. Sorry. Achievement would be if you work in sales and you met your targets every single year. That's an achievement. If you earn $100,000 in revenue for a company, that's an achievement. An entry-level position in HR is a HR coordinator, or HR assistant, and you could ask for a HR job shadow easily. Shakira said, my compliance internship was cut short. However, how can I apply? How can I job search for strictly compliance positions? I am not totally sure. Oh my god, I'm not totally sure where to start. No, what would you suggest, like a plan? Hold a second. Okay, so Shakira is saying her internship was cut short and she wants to job search use for compliance. You can use that experience. I'm sure anytime that you were in compliance, you would have gained certain skills or exposure to certain materials or certain techniques. Jesus, be a tripod. Okay, to certain techniques. So these skills. No, I can't see the comments. Right, to certain techniques. So what you want to do is leverage what you have. So write down everything that you've learned any time that you were doing the internship. So all the policies, all the procedures, all the regulations. I'm sure that you would have done deal with regulators from Barbados and St. Lucia. Write down all of those things and use them as leverage for your next job. When you're sending out emails, cold call emails to your potential job shadows or potential recruiters. Network. Okay, somebody is asking on the live about networking. If networking is important when sending out your resume. Networking is extremely important, especially when you live in the Caribbean. Most of you on here are from the Caribbean, and if you don't have a network, you are going to be extremely limited in your capacity to find a job in your fields. And it's sad because in the Caribbean, it's not about how much you know, it's about who you know. So it's going to be extremely limiting if you do not have a wide network. If you don't have a wide network, it's going to be extremely limited. I'm so sorry. Shakira always messaging me though, and we would to it out. If you do not have me on WhatsApp, you can slide in my DMs. I always answer. Alright, so achievements, like I said, will be something that you actually work to achieve. So whether it be a humanitarian award, whether it be a sales target or a revenue target that you were able to bring to the company, whether it be a Miss Barbados award, to me that's a big achievement. I know Jamila is a Miss Festival. She's a festival queen. I think she's a festival queen, Miss Jamaica Festival Queen. You know what I mean? Something that you have to work hard to put in. That is a big achievement. A head girl is not achievement here. And some people put achievements and awards together. That's okay as well. The next thing that you need to put on your resume is references. So references are very important. You were a festival queen. Wait, you're in Miss Jamaica. You were in Miss Jamaica. Right. So the next thing you need to put are references. Not just references, business references. So some of you put your godparents, your godmother, your godfather, or something. No, boo. Oh, you're a Miss Jamaica Universe. Yes, girl. Yes. Some people put on their resume references who are their stepfather or their godparents or their friends. No, we're not stupid. We know you're going to put people that like you on your resume. So guess what? We don't call the people that you put on your resume. Unless they're business references, people that were your former supervisor or former managers. Those people we actually call. So if you don't have business references on your resume, you're actually disadvantaging yourself, because we go and call your former workplace, and whoever we get, if the person don't like you, that's the person that is giving the reference for you or providing the reference for you. Now, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want somebody that doesn't feel too good about me giving a reference to me. So ensure that you give a business reference who was your supervisor or your manager at the company. That eliminates the margin of error for us getting a random person or getting somebody new in HR that doesn't know you and gives a half, like a mediocre answer about you. Raquel is asking, can I use the experience from college? What kind of experience, Raquel? It has to be more expansive on that one. Tamisha, any questions? No questions from Tamisha. John and Kayla, any questions? You could type them in the box below. Alright. Okay. So, business references. Ensure the business reference, you have their full name. You have a number for them, a number they actually answer. So, like mobile phone or their work number or their home number, and their title at the job you used to work at, and the actual job's address, like the company's name and address. What you don't want is that you use the person as a reference and the person does not know. So ensure that you inform the person that there are a reference on your CV. I had countless times when people call me for a reference. People put down my name as a reference and I don't know the person from Adam. Like, I legit don't know the person. The person put down my name, or I probably met them in passing once. They use my name and my company phone, and it's a kind of an embarrassing situation because you don't want to give a person a bad reference, but at the same time, that's my reputation. I can't give a reference for somebody who I generally don't know how they work, because if they go and play the fool, that's a bad reflection on me. So ensure that your references know that you're putting them as a reference. We're coming to the end, guys. This is about 40 minutes now. Somebody just joined. Welcome. There's a replay for the people on the webinar. Will an email address suffice or must a number be provided? John, thanks for your question. If you are applying to the UK or the US, hi. If you're applying to the UK or US, an email address could suffice, but in Caribbean, no, you need to provide a contact number. So even if that contact number is your cell phone or a home number, that could work. But you must provide a cell phone number. The reason is because you're in the Caribbean and nobody checks their emails. People check their emails like 2 weeks down the road and miss out on a job opportunity because they don't check their emails. So people don't check their emails, so I would say provide a number. Mia and Marie is asking, if I'm looking to work at a company overseas, would it be best to apply for a volunteer shadow or permanent position? Both are good. Volunteer shadow, people hardly say no. If you are offering free labor and value, people hardly say no. So that's the safest route to go. Hey Kendra. Raquel is asking it. Raquel is saying, experience at school where I encountered a difficult course but was unable to accomplish an excellent grade. I don't know. Raquel, listen, this is what you need to do. Send me your cover letter and CV to info@thehrboss.com. After this webinar, I'll look at it and we can talk. Okay, ambitious. Can you repeat the resume subject headings again? Sure. Okay, so the email address again is info@thehrboss.com. And if you subscribe to our website, we send out tips. We send out tips. We send out tips every week on resume writing, interview tips, everything for free. So subscribe to my channel. Okay. So somebody's asking about the resume subject line. The subject lines when you're sending out your CVs. Find something creative. Like most people put application for the post of marketing manager, but find something experienced marketing professional bringing value to your company, or experienced marketing manager applying for the role of marketing whatever, or driven creative, something that will get me to open the email. Alex says he has to DM me later. Alright, anybody on this live? John? Okay, John is asking, it's a previous employer but she recently moved back to the UK. So yeah, so if she moved back to the UK, then yeah, you could just use your email address. That's fine. Alright, we soon wrap up because it's Saturday and we're gonna go back to bed. But the last thing I would say, now that we have the cover letter on point and the resume on point, the last thing we need to work on is follow-ups. Some people send their resume via email and some people send it via mail. Now, I recommend sending via email. Why? It's easier to track. You could put a read receipt on email and see when the recruiter gets it, and you could also do follow-ups. You could see the timestamp when you sent it, and you could do a follow-up email based on the email that you sent. If you send it via mail, there's no way of telling when it actually gets to the HR department or the hiring manager or the company. The challenge with this is sending it via slow mail is there are too many variables. So when you leave your house, you take it to the post office, the postman is having a bad day, yeah? Or the post lady is having a bad day. They take it from the mailbox, the rain falling, the resume gets wet. They just nonchalant swivel to the company that you're applying to. They give the receptionist the resume. She probably opens it or something. The bread van pass. She buy a pastry. She rests the pastry on your resume. So it got grease marks on it and know it wet. Yes, Shadi, you could just DM me. Just slide in my DMs. It has grease marks on it, no. By the time it left the receptionist, it gone to the HR department. It will not go straight to the hiring manager. Chances are there's somebody there filtering the resumes. So there's probably like an HR assistant or an HR officer filtering the applications. By the time it got to the HR officer filtering the applications, she probably is wearing makeup. She touches her face and puts it on your resume. By the time it gets to me or the HR manager, the resume, it has grease, water stains, and makeup on it. And I'm looking at it like, what type of person is this sending in a resume with grease, makeup stains, and water stains on it? There are too many variables. You don't even know sometimes if it reached me. The postman can throw it away. And then you guys are over here calling people's HR departments, asking them, hi, my name is Jamila. Just following up if you get my resume. No. Skip the middleman and go straight to the source. Use the email address. Only use a mailing address if the ad in the paper has a PO box then you have to take the risk and send it by PO box. If they provide an email, fantastic, use the email. I don't know why millennials still use the mail anyway. Beats me. Following up on your application is the last thing that I will talk about. Then I'll take a few questions and then I'm gone back to bed. Following up on applications, I would say follow up in 2 weeks. Some people send the application and call 5 minutes later. Hi, I just sent you an email, just checking to see if you got it. Listen, we're busy. We're doing stuff. We're hiring people. We're firing people. We're paying people. We do not have time to check our emails every second, okay? So just give it about 2 weeks for us to get to your email about your awesome application, okay? You don't need to call 5 minutes after you sent it. Y'all got that on the webinar? I about to cut off Facebook Live. Not Facebook, this is Instagram. Right. So follow-up emails. What should a follow-up email look like? I prefer follow-up emails rather than phone calls. Phone calls to me are, I don't like the phone, so people are different, but I don't like the phone. But if you want to send a follow-up emails, I actually have a template I'm going to share in the webinar. I'm actually going to share a template with you guys. If you are on Instagram Live, you have to go to the website for the template. If you are in the webinar, the template will be shared with you here. So I have a template that is a follow-up email already structured for you on how to follow up with recruiters. If you're on Instagram, go to HR Boss, click downloads under courses, and it's the one titled follow-up application follow-up, and it's free. You could download that and use it. I'm trying to put it up for you guys. Okay, great. So it reads something like this. I'll read it so you guys can get a gist. Alright, so a follow-up template, the example is this. My name is Jamila Hollingsworth. I recently applied for the position of whatever position, marketing manager at your company. I wanted to reach out to you to reintroduce myself and further express interest in the role. I believe that my whatever skills will make me a viable candidate for this position. Should you wish to discuss my application, I will be happy to facilitate a face-to-face discussion with you at a time that is equally convenient for us. That's a quick and painless follow-up email, and you could copy and paste it and tweak it to how you want from our website. Where is Raquel? Raquel, there's also an informational interview template there, like if you're reaching out to people for internships or mentorship. An example of that email is, my name is, say, Raquel. I am a 25-year-old marketing professional interested in exploring careers in the field of whatever field you're trying to get into. After searching local experts in the field, your name came to the forefront, and I thought that you might be the perfect person to share your experience with a junior professional like myself looking to gain experience and learn more. If your schedule will allow, I would appreciate 15 minutes of your time to conduct an informational interview or talk with me so I can learn more about your industry. Thank you for considering my request, and I look forward to your reply. Very simple introduction to yourself, what skills you can offer, asking them for an initial 15-minute sit down. Most people don't turn those down unless it's a time constraint problem. Most people don't turn them down. You get the person in front of you and you ask for an unpaid internship, and from 99% of the job of the time, paid internships end up. The template is on my website, thehrboss.com. My email is info@thehrboss.com. Guys, like I said, okay. Alright, so for everybody in the webinar, I pasted the link. The replay of the webinar I will be emailing to everybody that is in the webinar, so don't worry. Okay, so guys, like I said, if you want to get the information directly to you while we are talking, it is best to join the webinars instead of the Instagram lives, because then you have to find the information for yourself. If you're in the webinar, the links will be sent directly to you. Just saying. Okay, so I sent everybody the links for the informational interviews and the follow-up emails. Now that is basically it. The one-on-one to writing the perfect resume, cover letter, and send it in. So I'll take any final questions and then you're free to go. If any questions, or if you guys, what y'all want me to talk about next week, I'll be happy to oblige you. For the website. So, time we get the questions going. Again, the website is thehrboss.com. And my email is info@thehrboss.com, or you can slide in my DMs, or if you're on the webinar, you can email me the link that you can email me at the link that I sent you. The replay of the webinar will be available for the people who signed up for the webinar. If there are no more questions, or you don't have any topic that you want me to cover next time, I'm gonna let you people go. Next week, can I speak about interviews? Okay, I'll find a topic. I actually have a paid course on interviews. So I'll find a topic that I don't cover in that paid course. And see if I can do it for you guys. I'll try. Webinar people, just saying a big thank you for the information and expertise. Thank you to Misha. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Thank you for sticking out these. This is an hour yet? It's an hour. So thank you very much for sticking it out with me, and see y'all next Saturday. Subscribe to the website. I have some information dropping this week that you don't want to miss, okay? Thank you. Bye, guys. How do I stop this? Alright guys, I just ended the webinar. So if you want to be a part of the webinar community, I decided to open the webinar to you guys on Instagram today. But if you want to be in the webinar community, it's absolutely free, and it's every Saturday on a different topic, and you get free resources. So join me at thehrboss.com. Bye.